Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. Today's video is going to be the next in my top 10 of years, whatever if you want to call it, series where I'm going to do my top 10 films of 2001. Excuse me. In this video there's only 2 honourable mentions. It's a very tight, concise list. There are still, as of most years, there are still big films that I am yet to watch, which may very well crack these lists when I watch them. So this might be a video that I do again in a few years' time, and my list might be a bit different. I might be able to recommend some different films. But yeah, this top 10 is pretty solid. They're all pretty good films, I would say. Well, they are all fantastic films, otherwise they wouldn't be in my top 10. But let me know if I'm missing any off of my list here. But we're going to get straight onto it, into my first honourable mention, so basically number 12, which is The Last Castle, which is a film, as you can see, starring Robert Redford, James Gandolfini, Mark Ruffalo and Delroy Lindo. And it's set in this like army prison, where anyone that commits like war crimes or anything if they're in the army or something, serving in the army, this is where they get sent. The Last Castle is what it's known as. And basically Robert Redford's character, who's a general who was considered a hero, who basically is sent to the prison. He has to kind of go under the watch of the warden, played by James Gandolfini, who's abusive, shall we say. And yeah, it's just a great, really good, solid film. I can't remember how I found this film, but it was before the Blu-ray came out, and when they announced the Blu-ray I was very happy, because it's a very good film. It's got quite a sad ending though. I mean, you got music by Jerry Goldsmith, always good. Directed by Rod Lurie, and yeah, I told you, the terrific cast, and yeah, just a great prison film. Robert Redford's great, James Gandolfini's great. Yeah, give it a watch if you've not seen it, The Last Castle. And my second honourable mention, number 11, is he featured in my last video, this director, and he's in this video but didn't quite crack the top 10, and that's Cameron Crowe's Vanilla Sky. This is the German import. It's been a while since I watched this, but it's like a sci-fi film, I would say. I honestly can't remember that much about it. I do remember liking it and thinking it was an interesting concept. I think Tom Cruise plays like a billionaire, and he tries this new technology or something. You got Cameron Diaz in there, Penelope Cruz. I remember Kurt Russell having a pretty good role in this. I think he plays like a doctor or something. Jason Lee, Noah Taylor, who's a great character actor. And yeah, it's one that I remember really enjoying. I obviously can't actually read you the synopsis on the back because it's all in German. And like I said, I can't remember too much about it, but I do remember it being a good film, and it's Cameron Crowe, so that's always a bonus. But I believe you can get this on 4K over here now. But this was one that I got when they released it in Germany, because it didn't have a Blu-ray release over here. And like I said, it's one that I really enjoy. So yeah, that's Vanilla Sky. Right, getting into my top 10. Coming in at number 10 is a film that, on a technical level, it's a really well made film. On a personal level, I don't love it as much as I could. It's one I probably need to give a watch again, because I've only seen it the once. But it still made my top 10, so it's still a very good film. And that is Training Day, with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. About like a seasoned detective. He's a bit corrupt, shall we say, and Ethan Hawke's a rookie who becomes his partner. And it's kind of just a day. They're in the car. Denzel Washington's trying to kind of teach him the ways, but he doesn't necessarily agree with his ways. And it's just the way that they go about it. Ethan Hawke's kind of like not too sure what to do, because he knows what Denzel Washington's doing is wrong, but he doesn't want to show to be against him because he's obviously senior to him. He's trying to look up to him because obviously the status he's got. And yeah, I remember it being a really good watch. Like I said, it's not quite up there for me, but still a really good film. You got supporting performances from Scott Glenn, Cliff Curtis, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, so decent supporting cast as well. And it's Antoine Fuqua who did this. Written by David Ayer, who's now become a pretty solid director, I would say. So, yeah, Blu-ray and 4K in that one. That is Training Day. Now, coming in at number 9, we have a horror film with a great twist that I really liked, and that is The Others, directed by Alejandro Amenabar, I think you say. Obviously starring Nicole Kidman. You got Christopher Eccleston. You got Fionnuala Flanagan, who's a great Irish actress. Elaine Cassidy, was one of her first films. Yeah, I don't know any of the other names popping up, don't know. I think this was a Spanish produced film, hence the director who did The Sea Inside, which I'm pretty sure I got that on DVD. I'm pretty sure that's Javier Bardem, which I haven't seen yet. But it's a ghost sort of film, supernatural thriller, horror, set towards the end of the war in 1945, and it's about a woman and her 2 kids. Obviously the woman being played by Nicole Kidman, that she's waiting for her husband, played by Christopher Eccleston, to return from the war, and they live in this huge mansion in Jersey, that hasn't been inhabited for quite some time. And then out of the blue, these 3 servants just appear from nowhere, and then stuff starts to happen that is a bit more sinister and supernatural, shall I say. And that's all I'll say. If you like a good ghost story, a good supernatural film, give this one a watch, because it's very good. As I say, it's got a fantastic twist. That cover artwork's lovely as well. Yeah, really like this one, The Others. And then next up, one that I think Stuart really hoped that I have on this list, and I do have it on the list because I did really dig it, even though I've only seen it the once. And that is Richard Kelly's Donnie Darko, this being the 4K Arrow edition. I can't remember which cut I saw of this, but I know one cut's supposed to be better than the other. I'm pretty sure Stuart said that the theatrical cut's much better than the director's cut, because I think you don't see the crash in the theatrical cut, which I think Stuart said is better. I'm pretty sure I saw the director's cut, so next time I watch it, I'll give the theatrical cut a watch. But yeah, really good film. A lot of you probably know, if you watch my channel for any amount of time, my favourite actor is Jake Gyllenhaal, and this was kind of his breakthrough film as a leading actor. He plays a kid in high school. He's very troubled. He's in therapy. His therapist is played by one of Stuart's favourite actors, Catherine Ross, who, brilliant actress, but I've only seen her obviously in this and The Swarm. He sleepwalks. He's got this imaginary friend who's like a 6-foot rabbit who he calls Frank, and he basically tells him that the world's going to end 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes and 12 seconds, and he's basically trying to prepare himself for that, but live a normal life in between. And there's lots of stuff that happens in between that's just out there. It's one that really makes you think. Patrick Swayze's really good in this because he's a really despicable character playing against type. You got my favourite actress in this as well, Drew Barrymore, who can't really remember much about her in this, which I suppose isn't a bad thing for me. Mary McDonnell, Noah Weil, who was in ER, Maggie Gyllenhaal, obviously Jake's real sister, who plays his sister in this. You got fantastic 80s soundtrack in this as well. You got Tears for Fears, Duran Duran. Yeah, this is a really good film. Really recommend this one if you've not seen it. Go in blind, which is what I did, and I think you will get more out of this. Very dark film, but really worth your time. Donnie Darko. Next up at number 7, I think this is. Is this 7? I think so. We have Frank Darabont's excellent The Majestic. I've spoken about this numerous times on the channel before. If you've not seen this, do yourself a favour, stream it, pick up a copy of it, however you can watch it. Give it a watch. You won't regret it. It's a brilliant film, especially if you love like the old cinemas and that sort of thing. It's basically about this screenwriter in Hollywood, played by Jim Carrey. He basically is at risk of being blacklisted, as they were back, because this is set during the early 1950s, when a lot of screenwriters were being blacklisted in Hollywood, much like Dalton Trumbo, who wrote Spartacus, which means they basically couldn't work at all. And he's basically very much at risk of this happening to him, which means he'll have to go to court for a hearing to see if he is actually a communist. And he gets into a car accident and completely loses his memory and wakes up on a beach just outside of this small town. And everyone in this town thinks he's the son of the theatre owner, played by the excellent Martin Landau, who's the only one to have come home from the war in that town. Obviously, we know as an audience he's not a spoiler, this is the plot, but it gives the town faith and restored hope, and they reopen the movie theatre, obviously owned by Martin Landau's character. The town, you can just feel it. It's just such a better place, and he falls in love with the girl who was Martin Landau's character's son's girlfriend, because she obviously thinks to start with that it's him. And just a great film. If you like any of Frank Darabont's films, this is up there. I think he directed 4 perfect films, in my opinion. I'd love to see him do another film like this. But yeah, highly urge you to grab a copy and watch The Majestic. It's a brilliant film. Coming in at number 6 is Ocean's 11, obviously ignoring the other one. The first in the Ocean's trilogy and the best, in my opinion. It kind of revitalised the comedy heist caper type of genre, obviously being a remake of the 60s film, I believe it was, with the Rat Pack, which I wasn't a huge fan of. But this is really a really slick, cool early noughties comedy. Feels very much of the time, with a brilliant cast. Obviously, most of you will know the cast. You've got George Clooney, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, Andy Garcia's in the first one, Casey Affleck, Don Cheadle, Bernie Mac, Carl Reiner, Elliot Gould. I'm definitely forgetting some people, but yeah, it's a huge cast. Scott Caan, obviously James Caan's son. Yeah, I can't remember who else is in it. I think I've covered most of them. Directed by Steven Soderbergh, who's a fantastic director. And yeah, like I said, revitalised the heist kind of genre, and it's an excellent film. I really like the trilogy as a whole, but the first one's definitely the best by a mile. So if you've not seen it, another one I definitely recommend checking out. Next up, we have what could be my favourite of the 4 films. I do need to rewatch them, so I can definitely solidify that answer. But I'm talking about American Pie 2. For people that have watched me for a long time, you'll probably know this is right up my street. These films, like an American teen comedy, coming of age, anything like that, ticks all the boxes for me. Just love them. And the American Pie films for me are just some of the best. I think the second one from memory is my favourite one. It's to do with camp, I think. The camp, yeah, I think I'm remembering rightly, when they get together again for the summer, and it's band camp, the neighbours, vacation in summer, yeah. Basically everyone from the first one is back in the second one. If you like the first one, it's the same in the second one. Kind of how I feel about Scream films. The second one's the best one for me of them. Yeah, I really need to sit down and watch these all again because I know I'm going to have a blast with them. I went to the charity shop today of recording this. You probably will have seen that video with the haul by now. But got some great sort of American comedies, teen comedies there that I can't wait to give a watch. But yeah, these are just some great films. So yeah, recommend that if you've not watched it. American Pie 2. Number 4, we have one of my favourite Spielberg films, and that is AI, Artificial Intelligence, starring Haley Joel Osment and Jude Law. Was originally supposed to be a Stanley Kubrick film. He handed the reins over to Spielberg before he passed away, gave his blessing, and it's based on a novel, I believe, by, does it say? Doesn't say, actually. Oh, Brian Aldiss, who wrote the short story. Normal photographer is Janusz Kaminski, all the usual people. John Williams doing the music. The screenplay was written by Spielberg. It was directed by Spielberg. You've got a great cast. You've got Frances O'Connor, who plays Haley Joel Osment's adoptive mother. Obviously, if you don't know the story, Haley Joel Osment plays a child robot named David. His programming makes him, it is for love, but his human family thinks he's becoming a bit too attached to them, so they basically abandon them. But because of his programming, he is determined to find his way back home, and he befriends Jude Law's character along the way, who also plays he plays a robot as well, who kind of helps him to navigate the streets and get him home. You got the voice talents of Robin Williams in this, Meryl Streep. You've also got Brendan Gleeson, William Hurt in this one as well. Beautiful story, really good film that really left me with something to think of afterwards. It does leave you thinking. Very emotional ending, but a really strong Spielberg film. I think definitely underrated in my opinion. That's AI, Artificial Intelligence. Then coming in, my top 3 now, and these are all like 5-star films for me. I mean, most of these probably would be, I'd say, the top 4 or 5-star films for me. And then you'd go a bit lower down, probably 4.5, the rest of them. But coming in at number 1 is an absolute classic in the fantasy genre. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Just a great adaptation of the book. Very rewatchable, kind of was just one of those films that was a phenomenon. The books were a phenomenon, and then the films were released and they became big. I think the original has to be one of my favourites. It's one of the ones I've watched the most. These films, I'm very glad to have in the collection on 4K. I was very lucky to see The Philosopher's Stone for its 20th anniversary in the cinemas. And then I missed, unfortunately, Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban, so I watched the 4Ks of this. We've got Goblet of Fire later this year, which I'm really hoping to get to see on the big screen. And then we should have Order of the Phoenix in 27, Half-Blood Prince in 29, and then 2030 and 2031 for the last 2. So I hope to get to see them all at the cinema, because I never got to watch them, obviously, because I was a bit too young upon original release. But yeah, Philosopher's Stone, essential viewing if you love fantasy. Yeah, I just adore it. And then a musical. Yes, Roy, a musical. You were correct. There is a musical in my top 10. And this isn't just like top 10 films from this year for me. This is, I would probably go as far to say this is my favourite musical. I've only seen it the once, but it just because it's so different stylistically. The way it's told, the way it's done, very quirky, and I just really like it, really respect it, and really love the use of the music throughout. And that is Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor. Great film. And Roy, I'll be honest, you might even like this one, because it is not, like I said, it's not your traditional musical at all. It's very different. just think Baz Luhrmann doing a musical, and that is what you get. Very weird, very different, but it works. It took me about 10-15 minutes to get my head around it, because it is very weird, not like anything you've seen on the screen before. It's basically about a young man that moves to wherever this is in France, Paris, I think. It's set in a nightclub, um, Moulin Rouge, and it's basically about a love affair, although it's not really affair because they're both single, but that's what it's called, between what they call a courtesan. So she was basically like a showgirl, played by Nicole Kidman, and a young writer played by Ewan McGregor. You've got the Duke in this, played by Richard Roxburgh, who's excellent in this, who's kind of trying to come in. He's very sleazy. He wants Nicole Kidman all to himself, but she can't stand him. Jim Broadbent plays the owner of the Moulin Rouge, who's terrific in this. Really brings just something else to the film. And it's just really good. It's like, it mixes like your old songs and modernizes them, twists them a bit. There's some original songs in it. It's really good. I mean, David Bowie's got a song in here. It's just it's hard to explain how unique this film is. Just give it a go if you've not seen it, because it's really worth your time. Moulin Rouge, number 2. And then number 1 is going to be pretty obvious because I've not included it yet, and it's, if anyone's a film lover at all, this is going to be on their top 10 somewhere. I have watched this around my birthday the last 2 years since I got this set. The first film, the extended edition, is the only way to go. This film series just, it takes me away. It just really makes me invested. It makes me feel like I'm in the world, and I adore it. I've always adored these films. That is probably my favourite trilogy ever. Yeah, I think you know what we're talking about here. Of course, we're talking about Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, pure fantasy gold. Absolutely love these films. You will see all 3 of these films in my lists. Won't be surprised if they're at the top in all of them, but I just adore them. And the Fellowship of the Ring, like I said, I've seen the extended version, which is 229 minutes. I saw it as soon as I got this 4K set. I saw it on my birthday, I think it was 2 years ago, and then I watched it again around my birthday last year, and then I watched The Two Towers, but I didn't get around to Return of the King. So this year I'm making it my goal to watch all 3 extended versions as close as possible to each other, because yeah, I mean, all of them have their highlights. I will talk about obviously the highlights in each film when I talk about them, but the Fellowship of the Ring, that end sequence with obviously the Fellowship fighting off against the orcs in the forest, just the whole film is just, yeah, I just love it. The caves was great. Obviously the famous "You Shall Not Pass." Yeah, love this film. Love all these films, so very happy to have this on my list. So that's my top 10. Do you agree with that list? Are there any that you would have included on your list? Let me know down below what you think. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to schedule these, because obviously I've got these videos I'm doing, and I'm doing like actors lists of actors' filmographies that I like. So whether I put them one out each week or like I kind of alternate it, I'm not too sure. I don't want to put too much content up there, because then I know people aren't just going to get the time to watch it. I want to try and space it out. So it might be a while before you see this video, but I've already had great feedback on the last video, which I uploaded today, and had positive feedback. So I might prioritise this. I might put some videos on the back burner for now, and just focus on doing those 2 series with the watch pile. So we have and weekly watches, so we have 4 regular videos a week. Let me know if you think that's good. I mean, I'll obviously schedule. We got Sunday, Wednesdays. Possibly we can also do Mondays and Fridays then as well. So you've basically got almost every other day you get a new video. Let me know what you think about that down below. But yeah, that is it for this video. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.